All right, we live. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
We live.
Let's cap off 2020. All right. Back again with Big Talk, ladies and gentlemen. It's 2020. We're here. It's your boy, Abe Does Media.
What's up, guys? I'm back. 2020. 2019 was full of lots of accomplishments, lots of trials and tribulations, but we here. We here with you for 2020.
I mean, it's been a little while since we last recorded a podcast. Honestly, the one that came out last Monday was recorded in November.
Yeah, about that
maybe
time.
before. And I tell you why, December was the month of the bread. Had to get that money up for 2020, make sure everything was in order, company-wise, work-wise. Got to pay for school. We're out here traveling, doing all sorts of stuff. You got to make sure everything's in line.
Facts. Yeah. Graduation, Christmas, birthdays. You know what I'm saying? December is always a crazy time of year. Plus, it was the end of the semester, too. I'm still in college in my last senior year, so that's another little thing on my plate. And December's finals back to back. So it's crazy time of year for everybody.
Crazy. Some of y'all don't believe it, but yes, I am going back to school at some point this year in 2020. It's part of the plan. Want to get a little bit of traveling out the way first, a little bit of business out the way first, and when I'm set up, go back and make the most of it.
Yeah, it's a solid plan. Very solid plan. Sounds like you got your 2020,
Can't disagree. 2020 goals. And for me, one is to go to school, a couple more to travel more, and to work on BAMCubed. For you, anything 2020 hitting hard?
2020, just going to graduate in May. I'm going to have my Soul Balance website, my clothing brand. That's going to be launched by the end of this January 2020. So that's something I'm looking forward to, and traveling as well. And, just the same old, what I've already been doing, but just not letting up, just being consistent.
Being consistent is all we're working on with BAMCubed. Our company last year got started. And, we did a good job getting our initial burst of customers, commercials, working with the music studio last year, got us into podcasting. Shout out to Morality Media. I mean, I feel like we accomplished a lot, but one thing we had to work on is consistency, not just getting clients, but also finding out what they want and performing to the best of our abilities.
Right. But, I mean, December's over, Our time is back in our hands.
Sir.
We have more time to hand
sir.
out, and we're good. We're here. So what is BAMCubed's next project? What is it that we have planned for
next project for BAMCubed? We're trying to get a little bit away, not all the way away, from throwing events and into more of the hard nitty-gritty of marketing, just to get more experience with the technical side for those of us who haven't been a part of it. Our team coming along in 2020, half of us are graduating, the other half is different employment, so we're gonna have more time, more opportunities, more money. I'm feeling it. I'm also feeling the creative side, videos, not just a podcast, but like on other forms coming. Milo's art, she's got all that going on, and we love our graphics girl. She gets it done. Bronson out here, he's going to come join us on the podcast soon, so that'll be awesome, and we can hear a little bit more about what he's up to in 2020. But for you, Abe, it's not just about BAMCubed, but tell me something about that Soul Balance.
So yeah, Soul Balance, it's a brand. I created it around January of 2019. I dropped my first hoodies in March, got a good amount of support on UNC campus and, friends and family. So, I already have a release out, and, the jackets were really dope, really successful. Then I started doing a shirt. I got my shirts manufactured, got a design, colors, yada, yada. All of that was ready, but the manufacturer gave me a terrible product. I wasted a lot of money doing that, and then I got distracted with BAMCubed and our marketing stuff. But I set it to the side for a little bit, but we're back on track, and
back on track with the new merch, Cop 2020.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. One big lesson, since we are talking about 2020 and all these goals and stuff, 2019 taught me that I was spreading myself way too thin. So focus. So now, I'm just trying to be way more, dedicating my time to fewer things, but to add way more quality, and that's my goal for.
I'm with you 100%. I think at some point when we were doing these podcasts, I had 4 jobs, I think.
Yeah.
I was coaching football, working for the Panthers, working at the airport, and grinding on BAMCubed. And it honestly spread me really thin. I remember hitting the wall, and I remember calling my best friend and just being like, look, I'm sick, but I'm not actually sick. I'm just so tired of working that my body is just like, give up. And, you know, it taught me that I need to not only focus my energy, but also like finish one task before you start the next. I think we would have like 4 things going at once, and then we wouldn't be able to focus on getting one done to 100%. We'd be like halfway done, and then the next thing would be halfway done, and we'd be slowly going up. We could just finish, jump to the next thing, and continue on.
Right, and yeah, that's something that definitely came to my attention. People were telling me in 2019, but I was so wrapped up in all our projects, and
Facts.
I mean, we were having lots of success.
Yes, sir.
So I felt like they couldn't tell me nothing. But I mean, at the end of the day, if we would have focused on one thing at a time, maybe we would have been able to get more done. But who knows? Who knows? We shoulda, coulda, woulda type conversation, and at the end of the day, we had a very successful 2019. We threw a very successful Freaky Friday event in September. We threw a very successful event on Halloween night. And, we want to thank everybody who supported us, who has,
Shout out to Halloween, Concord Police Department. You know what it is.
Cabarrus, yeah.
Cabarrus
County, yeah. But, maybe we'll get to that story in the future.
In the future, we'll have an ignorance podcast where we just talk about all the crazy stuff that happens beyond the business. As you guys know, when you follow us on Snapchat, we get into a lot of stuff. Social media, great nowadays. I'm enjoying both Snapchat and Instagram. And one thing that we can't ignore, I got to bring it up at some point, is this whole war on Iran and the memes and the good times. And I got to ask a serious question. If you were to get drafted today, what would be going down?
Man, honestly, if they asked me to be drafted today, that'd be a really difficult situation because I'm about to graduate in May, and I've been putting in like 6 years.
Hella work.
And I would be really upset if I did all that work and sacrifice to just have to go and be drafted and, maybe get exploded or something. I don't know.
So what I'm hearing is jail time. Because I would be right there with you, cellmates. I claim the bottom bunk. I think I'm too big for the top, but it'd be a bit better than shipping off. You feel me?
Yeah, definitely. I want to put this degree to use, and at least give me like a few months. Like, damn, like I literally.
Let me finish first. I'll help y'all out. Just give me a little time to finish my business.
Right. But yeah, that's where I am on that, and I don't really feel like getting into all the politics stuff right now because I feel like we'll just go down a rabbit hole doing that.
That's exactly where we were headed.
But this war thing is a little scary because how serious it could actually become. But who knows? I'm not foreign domestic.
We're
issues
no
expert.
politicians, that's for sure. We like to stay on the playful side of that. I've been enjoying the memes, watching them, and my little brother, I posted one, and my little brother apparently was very concerned about getting drafted. And I texted him, I'm like, bro, I'm just playing, man, chill. Like, I'm just posting about it because I'm laughing over here. I want to make sure other people are laughing too.
Right.
Yeah, social media's been pretty frantic about that, and also been all over the new music coming out. I tell you, Drake and Future's new song. What you think about that?
It was really good. I mean, it's like at this point, can Drake even surprise you anymore when he comes out with a hit or a song?
It's gonna be a bop, regardless.
Right, and it's him and Future, so it's just like the straight up cookie cutter. Of course, it's gonna be like a head. You're gonna nod your head to it. But was I crazy about it? No. Will I play sometimes? Sure. But yeah, that's where I am on that. Also, the Mac Miller album dropped.
Ooh, yeah, it did.
Was very excited for that. Have lots of respect for Mac. Today's actually his birthday, so shout out to you, R.I.P. Mac.
Shout out to Mac.
Also, Stunna dropped his album today, or no, the same day that Mac dropped his album. It was like the day before yesterday.
Ago, right?
Yeah. So a Carolina artist. Shout out to you. Also, the baby keeps getting wrapped up in all these kind of issues.
Not exactly music, but it's big for music. The baby got arrested once, and then wasn't it last night or the night before? He got in trouble for pushing or getting in some beef with a hotel employee.
Yeah, that's what I read.
Yeah.
He for the first one where he got arrested, I know he beat up a promoter that didn't pay him the
On
money
camera.
that he was promised. So I mean, you know what I'm saying. And did you hear about the detail that they poured apple juice on the promoter?
Really?
He
No.
beat
What's that
his
got to do with
ass.
it?
I don't know. He beat his ass, and the baby, of course, had an extra thing of apple juice, and he fucking poured apple juice
All
on
buff ass
that.
niggas that just get scary apple juice. You feel me?
Right.
Well, I was talking with Bronson and Chris about this, and we've talked about it before with Meek Mill and other artists. So when you're in a friend group like that, you've got the artist, and you've got all his homies, roadies, who hangs out with him.
Yeah.
When these situations arrive where you got to fight or something goes down, like that situation with A$AP Rocky where he ended up shoving the two dudes. That artist or the person in your group who is bringing all the money, all the attention, is that not your cash cow? Would you not jump in and take the fight for that man so that he does not get in trouble in the end? Or is that just not a bro thing? Because as a bro, all I'm saying is, I remember once my brother got into some beef in school over some girl, my older brother, and I just remember thinking to myself, I'm going to handle it for you. Because you have the highest GPA, you're the valedictorian, you're going MIT. I'm a football player. They don't give a fuck if I beat some kid's ass. And so my whole thing was like, I'm going to jump in and handle it, even though it's your business. And I was just thinking, wouldn't that be the same level there as like you would jump in for him because he's helping you out in the long run?
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Honestly, the crew should definitely be looking out for their star. Same thing would happen with Tekashi. Same thing happened with Juice WRLD, R.I.P. Juice WRLD, and same thing keeps happening with the baby. So I mean, it looks like on a consistent basis, we're seeing that your crew is not holding you down. So maybe don't do crazy shit like that and expect them to take the fall for you because track record saying it's not happening, guys. So you're gonna have to bite that charge every time.
And it's not always bad for your street cred, et cetera, et cetera. And when you're an artist like that and you don't have a corporate job, it's not going to affect you as much in the long run. But at the same time, come on, bros, it's jail. Stick up for your fellow bro, especially the head bro. Don't make that man go to jail every time something pops off just because everybody knows who he is and they know his name. It's easier to be the one that gets arrested.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. They don't even let the baby perform in Charlotte half the time. Like, the police think that there's going to be some kind of problems every single time. Because remember, they were supposed to perform at UNCC, got canceled.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he had a performance after that. That was canceled. I don't know. There's just lots of beef with these artists and stuff. I mean, it must come with the attention.
The attention that I think for him being so local, he has to have fans and enemies because this is where he's from. You feel me? Like, I don't know how to put it, but like I'm not saying like gang stuff, but like our group doesn't get along with every group that goes to UNCC. Therefore, we don't party with all of them. I know it's a much smaller scale, but you would think the same thing would happen on a bigger scale as well.
Right. Do you think having fame and having money and notoriety is worth having random enemies that you don't even know? You think it's worth it, like having the money and the riches?
Well, I think whether you have money or riches or any type of attention at all, you're going to get haters, and then if you say something to offend the haters, anything that like goes against somebody who's already, rooting for you to lose, they're going to take that to a next level of hatred, a next level of, okay, I want to ruin him more, so let me start something that I'm involved with so I can get clout at the same time losing him fans.
Right, and it's always someone that has less to lose than that, that famous person or, the person with the riches. It's always someone with...
Like this whole beef between Eminem and...
MGK?
No, not MGK. You already destroyed MGK, and now Nick Cannon.
Oh, my God.
Nick Cannon.
Yeah, that beef, I mean,
I
shoot.
can't even. Right. Eminem hasn't even, like, lifted a finger yet, and he's still winning somehow because all the other artists are like, Nick, you okay? You doing heavy drugs? Like, you're talking about Eminem, right? Like, right. I mean, that is for real cracking me up. I think that's really funny.
I mean, at this point, is Eminem really as like ruthless as they say he was back in the day? I mean, he can't rap about the same stuff he used to rap about, raping his mom and like, beating up his baby mama. I mean, he's not doing those same kind of raps. So is he really not the one to mess with anymore? Or is he free game?
Well, I think like it's just like talk about LeBron here. Like if you go to the championship, you were at the championship for 8 years before that. At this point, you're defending your title. You know, you don't have to destroy the man like you used to. Just think about Mayweather in all his last fights. He is not going after somebody trying to get the knockout because he needs the win. He's just securing the victory through surviving, because if they come out even, he still comes out on top because he is the reigning champ.
Facts. Right.
So.
Also, did you see that fight last night? Oh yeah,
Ooh,
we both watched it. Actually, yeah.
Man, we must have had a lot of drinks. We
really
both
did.
went to Lucky's last night. Shout out to Dana for getting us in.
Yes.
Had fun with Miilo,
Definitely.
with Destiny, Bronson,
Free
Tony. I
drinks.
think Tony made an appearance. Omar was there for a little bit. We had a good time.
Definitely.
And went there. All these people paid all this money. $60 a fight. I know Dan Blazarian spent $2 million on the Cowboy, and that was all flushed down the toilet in 40 seconds as Conor McGregor opened up a can of shoulder to the nose.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that shoulder move was like.
I was kind of,
Right,
like, damn. I've gotten in a lot of fights. I'm not gonna lie. I've never been like, I'm gonna knock this dude out with my shoulder blade.
Right. Definitely threw me.
That's some next level stuff right there. And
Yeah.
shout out to Conor, because he's been training and he's been ready to get back on top. As he said, the double belt champ does exactly what he wants. So he's back, and hopefully he can get that next fight. I know he was already in the octagon talking shit about the next guy who was sitting there. He talked crap about two of them who were actually sitting there. They showed them both like, oh my God, he's already after me. Like, I'd be scared, boys. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, McGregor's nice with it.
Super Bowl set. That just happened a little bit ago. Sorry, Bronson. Shout out to the 49ers. Shout out to the Chiefs. It's going to be a hell of a game in Florida. I know we got a big house party going down that day. That's going to be an adventure and a half. Hope most of you guys can make it out. That'll be in 2 weeks from today.
Yeah. Yo, did you see that they tried to put an arrest warrant out for OBJ?
Really? Oh, have you seen him smack the police officer's
It was
butt?
over that. It was over that.
He smacked his butt, and that was all it took. And
Right.
I'm just like, technically, that can get you landed in jail. That is something that can get you in trouble.
But they were
But
in the locker room.
At the same time, they
were in the locker room after a win, and they were trying to get him to put out a cigar.
Yeah, it was something dumb like that. But when he smacked the butt, I literally cried. I just had to pull this up because it just cracked me up so much.
Yeah, look, it's like
you'll just see the cops talking to the player. He's got, I think maybe he had alcohol or something that he wasn't supposed to have. I don't know. And then just watching the background, watch OBJ smack him in the butt and then start singing in his face. The guy's recording is like, it's just like childish stuff, to be honest. Like, it never had to happen, but it was still funny as hell. I was cracking up.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Definitely don't think he deserved an arrest warrant for that. And, I have
Cop decided not to press charges, so it didn't end up in any trouble. So that's good, but
shouldn't even got to that point.
If you've seen the other videos of OBJ at that point, he was super drunk, just like falling over the place. He was like dapping up players with like wads of cash, just like giving them wads of cash. I'm like, bro, like, he was pretty fucked up. Yeah, he did. He did go to LSU,
showing love.
But you could just tell by how he was talking and how he was like moving that he was drunk as hell.
Right.
And he'd obviously been there having a good time. His team's winning. I'm a Clemson guy myself, so I wasn't happy about the loss. But, boys, we got him again next year. Travis Etienne just said he's going back to finish his education, and I think that's amazing. A player like that could have literally gone in the top 10 in the NFL draft and decided that his education and his future is what he said after football is that important that he wants to stay. And that's something I think athletes really overlook.
Right. I mean, I just finished watching that Aaron Hernandez documentary on Netflix, and them cases of CTE is pretty scary. Like, if you putting all your eggs in one basket on football,
right.
You could really get yourself fucked up. Like, that dude's CTE was apparently the worst in a 27-year-old that they've ever seen, or something like that.
It was bad, and I tell you, it's not something that, as a former football player, I know it's not something you really think about or you really want to bring up. And I gave a big shout out when talking to people about Luke Kuechly retiring, because I was like, he had the awareness, he had the realization that even though he could keep playing, he's already at a Hall of Fame level. And through his 8 seasons, he's already Hall of Fame status. and his mind and preserving himself is more important than the game. Because and in the end of the day, it is a game. But when you're a player, it feels like so much more. It's your life. It's everything. You've trained for it. If you're in the NFL, you've trained for it every single year of your life. So shout out to Luke because, realizing that and like people are going to like, oh, he only did 8 years, this and that. But he's had a couple concussions. And I can tell you it's no joke. In high school, I literally hit a concussion because I didn't want to not play. And that was it. And it was stupid. And now that it's becoming serious and people are starting to realize, it becomes a real problem. And people are starting to realize and cut their career short. And that's good on them to finish their college career, get something else in so that you have a life after football.
Right, exactly. Yeah, can't put all those eggs in one basket.
Man, I tell you, just talking about all eggs in one basket. Last year, I planned to go on one big trip all year. I know it has nothing to do with sports, but I had one big trip I wanted to go on all year. It was Thailand, and I ended up not going and had to go on a couple smaller trips. So this year, I planned it out much differently.
Where would you got planned?
I planned out a trip to Cali. Go see. Shout out to Marshall who helped us set up this Audacity for the last 2 hours. Shout out to him coming to visit in March. This summer, I'm going to Thailand for real this time for one of my fellas at work birthday. Shout out to Marco. And then I've got a wedding I'm going to in April in St. Louis. So Katie, good friend from college. Just planning a lot of stuff. Got Oktoberfest. Definitely going to that with Chris and his family. That should be a good time. Just trying to maybe go visit my sister in London while she's studying abroad. Nice. I realized that before last year, I haven't traveled anywhere. I'd gotten on one plane, and it was to go to Boston to watch Marshall graduate, and then right back here.
Wow.
So this year, got the new job, and now I'm feeling like, okay, I need to explore a little bit, see a little bit more. It'll widen my views more so than anything. Just, give me more stuff to talk about to you guys on the podcast, to be honest.
Right.
So eventually on here, we're going to start telling personal stories. Don't think the audience is ready for that yet. I don't think they can handle yet.
Right. We got to get to know each other a little bit better first. We just met.
Exactly.
We're like 3 episodes in.
Just getting started. At least you can see our views first. Then now we can start introducing a little bit about our past. We'll have a whole episode, but on that episode, I'm definitely bringing in at least 2 or 3 people to corroborate the stories, because y'all would never believe.
That's a good point.
Y'all just wouldn't believe. We're going to have to cast a whole bunch of videos on here just so that y'all don't think we're capping the whole time.
Right. Like, from, 80-year-old ladies in our twerk-offs to gigantic
Facts.
brawls to missing roommates behind, bushes at a cookout. We have some
dudes
crazy
jumping off
stories.
roofs, breaking their legs. I mean, just straight out of some Project X shit half the time.
Right, and there's...
Still love it. College is treating us right. We're not done yet. We're going to have some crazy stories in the future. Hopefully some crazy stories out of the state as well. Start traveling together, stuff like that.
Right.
And a lot of people recognize, Bigg and Abe out here. That's why we got the beer. Haven't even cracked this open yet. This is Bigg Light. I had no idea this existed. Got Snapchat by 2 or 3 people. Like, yo, you got a brand of beer? So we decided we were going to crack this open right here on the Big Talk podcast.
But this is not a sponsorship.
Not sponsored by Bigg Light yet.
But we like your name.
But we like your name. Can hit us up anytime. We're going to make sure this is a quality brew. I know the last couple times we recorded. All right. Toast my brother. Toast.
Toast.
Yes, sir.
It's pretty light.
It's not bad. 4.2, so not high in alcohol. But if you drink enough, I think that's the key.
Right. I mean, these things are pretty light. I mean, I'm talking about
seltzer light.
Right.
Not a bad tasting beer though.
Definitely not. No.
There are some beers that when I drink, I'm, a little bit cringe. I really like Yingling. I really like Coors Banquet. But not a bad beer at all for a light beer.
Right.
Pretty solid. Probably could finish this whole 18-pack by myself.
I feel like it's like the guy's version of what's those the white claws.
White Claws.
It's pretty light. It's that light. A little bit bubbly.
I could probably chug a whole one. got to get a chug bud from Mike Stud at some point. Shout out to Mike Stud. My inspiration from doing podcasts comes from an artist I listen to, Mike Stud. He has his own podcast, and it's him and his boys, and they're doing them. They don't talk about stuff they don't know about. They don't bring people on who don't relate to what they're doing, and I feel like that's what we're going to build here because, you know, everything we say on here comes straight from us. We're not pulling it from anywhere. If we ever say something that's incorrect, you can drop down in the comment section and correct us. We're not care.
Right.
I mean, we get it wrong sometimes. You know, you can blame on us or spam us, whatever. We'll have a good time with it. I know one of the biggest critics, Chris, when I first showed it to Chris, he was like, you know, that first one, like, you guys were talking about some stuff that I wasn't sure if y'all were correct. And I'm like, bro, look. I was like, first of all, we were a lot more than one of these deep. Second of all, we were just having a good time, man. I enjoy it. I enjoy talking, letting everybody know what we're up to.
Yes.
We're going to start releasing these every Monday. We're going to get consistent. Like we said, 2020, get consistency. Last Monday episode we recorded with Sarah Brown. We're going to bring on more guests. We're going to have another spot here right next to the TV. Let us know if there's anything we need to talk about. Friends, all of y'all, thank you for support and listening. I honestly got asked about 15 times in the start of 2020 when I'm reaching out, telling everybody what's up. Hey, Happy New Year. Know that everybody haven't talked. Oh, so when's the new podcast coming out? Like, we're ready for big time. I was surprised.
I feel like people was feeling like we done fell off the ball or something, but we're here. We're just had to relocate.
We had to relocate. Got the new set. You know, the legendary palm tree. We'll give you that story one day. We'll give you the story behind the cold beer sign one day. New apartment. About to get a new car. We're really trying to make 2020 something special, to be honest.
Right. So add us on our socials. Abe does media. ABE does media.
Big MC 22, your main man, or Mike 1, as we say. Even though it's Mike 2 today. And make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff the real YouTubers say. Right. And follow us on our social. We'll post more. Also, like, if y'all want to come hang out and party, let us know as well. We know most of y'all are good friends, so let's do it.
All right, we made it to 2020, baby.
Baller. All right.